Hi, all, and welcome to Monday Night's Treasure Vortex with Gypsy from YouTube's Zero Discrimination, as well as GypsyDigs.com, and myself, Amanda Degaz. So last week we had a pre-recorded episode with the famous Cody Drake, the Arizona treasure hunter. I hope you guys all caught it because it was a really good one. And I know the birthday girl on the line with me right now is still out treasure hunting, but we were able to make this work. So, hey Gypsy, how are you tonight?
Hey, I'm doing fabulous. I'm still on the road, and right now I'm in Missouri, headed back to Arkansas. And today I was metal detecting along the Mississippi River, and had some fun. And yeah, it's been an epic. If there's another word that is a good synonym for epic, if you can think of it, it was totally the most amazing, epic birthday ever, in my opinion. It's just been memorable, spending time with some amazing friends and getting to treasure hunt, getting to just, adventure, all of that fun stuff, And, it's a lot like our hunts that we go on, like similar to the hunt that, you went on, but different,
Yeah.
if you know what I mean.
Yep.
I mean, getting to meet up with other friends that have common interests, But this time, I was getting to do one of my bucket listers that you and I had discussed before about I've never got to go crystal hunting.
Ooh.
And so my friends found out that, that was one of the things that I've always wanted to do, and surprised me with a fabulous trip to Arkansas to dig for some crystals, a little bit of metal detecting, and it's just been phenomenal. Anyway, before we get into that, I know that you went on, well, I know you've been mudlarking a few times, but while I guess on my birthday weekend or the week before, actually?
Yeah, the weekend before.
Weekend before, you were in New York, right?
Yep. Went to upstate New York for Dig Stock 4. And like you said, with the friends and whatnot, got to meet up with some great people. Actually, a few are in chat right now. Ed and Scott, I got to dig with them over the weekend, and it was a great time. I mean, Jon and I piled the car up on Friday morning and headed out and got to the main event tent probably a little after noon. Got to hang out. Oh, Matt's in here too. Got to meet Matt Carr for the first time, and that was really cool. Yep, and that was how they do the Friday meet and greet and hang out and pre-registration. So that all,
Right.
that one all happened on Friday, and then Saturday we hit the fields, and oh my gosh, Gypsy.
Oh my gosh.
The 2 years you and
I saw
I.
a few pictures.
Yeah, and the 2 years that you and I went where it was held in Chazy or Chazzy or however everybody wants to say it. You know how the fields were like, I don't even know. The fields were somewhat all connected and you could kind of drive to some of them and there was a park, but you could kind of get to them all. This seemed like enormous compared to the 2 years prior. You just looked around and, again, it's a lot of the flat fields and you look around and you've got mountains on both sides and it was really cool. It was
incredible. So
yeah,
where was it this time?
It was in bunch of towns. So Peru, Ausable, Harkness, and that might be it.
So how'd
I
that
think.
work? Divided sections of property for each day? How did that work?
No, so
Was all connected?
it was a free for all. They told you where you could park. They had outhouses in different sections, and um, you know, it was, yeah, in the evening. I know that a bunch of us got together in the lobby and kind of discussed plan of action, where we wanted to go first thing on Saturday morning, and that's what I think just about everybody did. You all get together, you look, they're very good about sending that interactive map. So on the different
Good.
fields, it gave you the heads up of, back in 1864, there was a home on this area or a school. And, some fields didn't have any markers, but that doesn't necessarily mean that there wasn't anything there. Because
Right.
you always had camps too, back way, way back. So yeah, it was fun.
Well, are you talking Civil War camps, or are you talking even before then?
1812, War of 1812
1812.
encampments. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, man.
Camps, not encampments, camps.
Yeah. So now I got to see a few photos of some of the finds. You mind sharing more about some of the finds that y'all found and maybe
Yeah.
highlight favorite finds, etc.?
Yeah, I dug, I dug a spoon. One of the first good signals was a spoon that was curlicued. The ground and the plow had hit it and so mangled, but it was still fully intact, so that was kind of neat. And I dug a lot of lead. These farm fields, so we went between, it was cornfields, I think it was alfalfa, then regular fields, and maybe soybean. And yeah, the fields, they weren't that kind on things, but that's the way it is when you're, digging farm fields. But the second day I did end up with a New York military cuff button. I haven't looked in the book yet to figure out the age. And then midday Sunday, I have to bring it to a jeweler because I'm not even sure I want to go. Oh, I'm pretty sure it's gold. I found half of a gold locket,
Wow.
and it's the
Wow.
side that has a monogram. I haven't figured out what the monogram is. It's got a crack in it, and you know how when an item cracks like that, you can kind of tell if it's plated or if there's something else. And it's gold all the way through, but it just seems so light. So not sure if it's a very low carat but I do. I'd like to get it over to a jeweler to look at it and fix it. I'm worried about even trying to clean it up anymore and having it crack straight across. So
No. Yeah.
that was a really fun find. And then right after I found the gold locket piece, Ed yelled at me, not yelled at me, but yelled across the field, and so we all converged on him, and he had flipped the plug and had silver in the plug, and big silver. So we got video, but he ended up pulling a two
Wow.
real from the same field that I got the gold locket. It was
A two
awesome.
real out of the same field. Oh
Yep.
my goodness. I think I did see photos of that. That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah, it was, I mean, it was
Lucky duck.
crazy. It was crazy. That field though, it was really good. The first day we visited it, the thing is there was so much trash. But on the surface, there was a lot of pottery and glass, and there was some old stuff.
Yeah.
I know Ed ended up finding, an old school, I think it was Stoddard glass whiskey flask top, like the lip of it,
Ooh,
and the lip and the
really?
neck. Yep. And I mean, you knew that there was old stuff there. It was just you had to get through the trash, and it was a lot of
Right.
trash. So,
Taking out the trash.
yeah, but that when we first got to that field, I dug part of a harmonica reed, and then, pull tabs, but they were beaver tails and
Well, I was going to
trash.
ask you about those. Have you used your counter yet?
I have, but not. I've used the counter to dig the number of holes I dug, not the beaver
Oh,
tails.
interesting. That's a good idea.
Yep.
That's a good
So,
idea.
but
Wow.
right
Yeah.
after right after that, John had pulled a large scent, and that was the first day. And then I think we must have broke for lunch, and then went back to the main tent to check in and see what everybody else had found.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was.
So tell me about the large scent that John found.
He
Was
hasn't.
it
He hasn't.
straight butt? I mean,
I'm.
was it? Did
I'm
he
not.
clean it up yet?
Nope, I don't think so.
See, y'all dig those like we dig wheat pennies here in Texas. And I would not be able to rest until I knew what I had, clean it up, still clean it. Yeah, no. Mm. But I get it. I dig them like wheat
Yeah.
pennies.
I mean, I just started brushing off the button I found yesterday and was like, oh, wait, this
Uh,
might be. Because in my head, I was like, so you and I and a few others that have gone with me, or a few others that might be listening that have the old mills and you have button dumps. The button in my mind looked identical to ones that we had dug hundreds of, hundreds of in the
really?
button dump. And I was just like,
So it just didn't
ah,
seem like a big deal to you. Okay.
yeah, it didn't. It didn't. And then it was yesterday when I pulled it out and started cleaning it and like looking in the book, I was like, you know what? It's different. Yes, I might have dug a
Hmm.
bunch of them, but it's absolutely different. I dug this in New York in a field that may have actually
Right?
come off a soldier, not some old rags that were, you know, traded to the rag man
Oh,
for cash.
yeah.
And so,
Right.
but yeah, I did. Last night is when I started to finally be like, um, okay, this is actually kind of cool. Because I believe me, when I found it in the field, I was like, yes, I finally found something instead of trash or lead, lots of lead. Um,
Lots of lead.
and so I was excited at that, but then and I was just hoping for earlier, the one piece 1812 buttons, militia buttons. I was hoping for earlier. So when I saw it and saw the shield on it, and I'm like, Gypsy and I and Laura, we've all dug like seriously hundreds of these buttons.
Yeah, we did get a little spoiled with the button dump, and I have to admit, sometimes when I'm out digging or I see some people's posts of this really amazing button that they dug out in the field, and they really hunted and worked hard for that button, and I'm like, ooh, I've got that button.
Yep.
Amanda and I dug the button dump. So yeah, I have to agree that will spoil of what we've experienced with the button dump and being able to dig so many